What they do, we would like to welcome y'all. We finally are at a point where we could present y'all Love You More, our podcast. So his and hers podcast, so you will get different scenarios, situation, topics from a his and hers point of view. And some things we may agree on, but everybody don't see eye to eye, so you know how that go. Um, This has been in the works for a very long time.
Very long
We
time.
talked about doing this for years. So I'm very excited to
Absolutely.
actually be able to the point to be able to get this thing started and off the ground. Especially coming from it was just the idea.
Right.
And I mean I know podcasts are popular right now, but I think us doing it like from a co-ed standpoint and being
A
a
married
married
couple,
couple.
a younger married couple.
Yeah, for sure. And presenting our trials and tribulations
Right.
and everything that we went through to the world. So hopefully through this therapeutic process, we can help ourselves and also help you all. Um, Season one, episode one, I want to get straight into it. I want to know, how do you feel, especially having two young boys that you're raising, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when you hear this new generation of women say, "Oh, if I go half and half with a dude, my other dude, I'm gonna have another dude that's gonna pay my half, or I'm gonna be cheating a lot," or like, how do you feel? One, when you hear that type of conversation from the generation that's coming under you, and also I want to know what your take is on like 50-50 in a relationship or a marriage or however you can swing it.
So I think that we live in a time where the game is all messed up. The game is all messed up. We live in this social media. She got it. She's popping because she got this dude doing this and that dude doing that. And that's not reality, right? So I was raised, and I think our relationship, our marriage is very traditional. And I never really like to put a title on our relationship because it's so fluid. It's always changing, right? As
For
we
sure.
grow and we learn, and what worked yesterday might not work today, and we learn how to change with that. But our relationship has always been very much traditional. With that being said, though, I was raised by a strong single mother. And growing up, I always knew that I didn't want to be a single mother, but the values that she instilled in me, can't no man, can't no woman, can't no anybody but God Himself take that from me.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of those values that she instilled in me was always have your own.
That independence.
Always have your
For
own.
sure.
I watched my mother, um, and of course, I was 7, 8 when my parents got a divorce. So I watched my mother go through a divorce, not really even knowing what a divorce or the magnitude of it was until I got much older because she held that shit down.
For sure.
I watched her go through a divorce from my father, who she was married to for 23 years, had 2 kids with, who he was in the military, so he moved her from this place to that place to this place to that place. And as a wife, she held him down. When it was time to pack up and go every 2 to 3 years, she packed up and she left to hold her husband down, to hold her family down. She didn't start her career till later in life. She didn't have children till later in life because that just was their narrative. That was their story.
Right.
When they got a divorce and he was the breadwinner, he was the backbone, he was the income, he was the everything, that was the stability. And she presented it to us like, hey, dad is leaving. We're going to be okay. And we did not miss a beat. She did not miss a cheerleading practice. She did not miss a football game. She did not miss anything at all. On the other side, our lights didn't go out. It was just like, hey, my parents got a divorce. Like, my parents got a divorce.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the magnitude of it until I was so much older of the things that she was probably going through mentally,
Mm-hmm.
financially, the burdens that she was going through, but she didn't let her children see that. And from that, I always, to go back to your question, I know that was kind of long winded, but to go back to your question, I'm always going to go 50-50. You're never going to have your name on something that my name is not going to be on. You're never going to be able to have the upper hand.
Mm.
You're never going to be able to say, I'm leaving you, figure it the fuck out.
Mm.
And not because I don't trust you, not
No, that's
because
good.
I don't love you, not because I think you would ever do anything like that, but from a very, if I learned nothing else from my childhood, women have got to stand on their own 2 feet with or without a man.
For sure, that independency. But so my take on it, right? So the 50-50 from everybody's conversation or every conversation that people have about the 50-50 is one sided. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about the financial part of a relationship, right?
Right.
And we are, me personally, we all know that that's a big thing in a relationship, but it's only one thing, like a small percentage of a thing in a relationship.
But also, when they say 50-50,
They're only talking about
they're
financial.
only talking about financial, but I could be making $30,000 a year. You could be making $150,000 a year.
Or vice versa.
Correct. And
Right.
our 50-50 is not the same.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you can never really go 50-50.
Correct.
Right?
I agree with that.
My viewpoint on the 50-50, and let's just talk about financially,
Mhm.
right? My problem with the females that's this old want to be kept or I got to be kept, right?
Right.
This is my issue, right? If you're already doing 100% by yourself, don't 50% sound a whole lot better?
Correct.
So 9 times out of 10, that tells me that these females are not doing 100% on their own.
But they've told you that.
Nah, I mean, I don't know what the conversations are.
But
I'm just saying from the standpoint of you're not willing to do 50-50, so you're damn sure not willing to do 100%.
right. But when I say they told you that, if they're saying I'm not going 50-50, or if I do have to go 50-50, I'm gonna get the next dude to
So
cover
what
the
happens?
50.
What happens when you don't have a dude? What happens when the next dude ain't right around the corner?
They always
You
have
can
a
say
dude.
you can say you always got a roster, right? But let's say you haven't worked it up or got, because think about it, the reality of a dude just coming into the scenario and picking up what a dude dropped off,
Mhm.
you talking about you got to be over a 10. I'm talking about like an IG model. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
OnlyFans, all that type of, like, when you put it in the face. You could say regular females can do this, but you also have to understand that regular females aren't getting a certain type of caliber of a dude.
So let me explain something.
You could get a dude to say, "Hey, I can sell you a dream all fucking day."
No, but the difference is you don't see the dudes that are forking some of these deals. Some of them are 70 years old.
Yeah, but
Got
sugar
one
daddy.
leg.
Listen, I understand that part. I'm talking about the females who are saying, "Hey, I want a real relationship, but the only way I can be in a relationship is I'm not doing 50-50." Right?
Mhm.
And a lot of these females who are not willing to do 50-50 won't cook, they won't clean, they don't know how to take care of themselves, let alone take care of a child or take care of a house that a dude and bought you. So when you look at the list of and also I want to go back, right? So we can talk about 50-50 from a financial standpoint all day, right? Because the reality of it is we're never going to be really 50-50. So you're going to make more at some point. I'm going to make less. I'm going to make more. You're going to make less. At some point, we're never going to be 50-50 financially. We're in two different fields. Nobody's rare. Nobody's doing the same job and making the same type of money.
But I also feel like
wait, because I want to make my point before I lose it, right? The 50-50 on the financial side, I get that. But you also have to understand if you say, oh, I'm not going, if you're not willing to go 50-50 financially with me, you're not willing to go 50-50 mentally with me. So when you really break down a relationship, it's so many barriers to this, but the most important one of them all is my mental as a man.
Right.
I have enough that I have to deal with on a daily basis, leaving my house, my bat cave, my safe haven.
Right.
So when I come home, if this isn't peace, if this isn't taken care of, if you can't meet me on a certain level mentally, well, I wake up, I may go do my thing, come back, I got 20% on my battery left. Right. I'm drained. I can't help you with the kids. I don't want to do no dishes. I don't want to do, I'm going to go do my walk. I'm going to work out, and then I'm really done for the night. I'm ready to eat and lay down. And I have done that many of nights, right? At the end of the day, can you make up that 80% to get the night done and over with? Let's say, hey, let's get to tomorrow, and then let's see if we can, because we're going to have to find another 100% to get through each day.
See, and I think that is so pivotal in marriage and relationship, especially when you tack on kids, especially when you tack on bills, especially when you tack on second jobs and dreams and aspirations and all of the things that come with adulting, right?
For sure.
Because, and I will be the first to say, that's what I feel like got us to that next level. Because for so many years in our relationship and so many years in our marriage, one of us was showing up 100% one day for months and months and months. And then it was like, you know what? I'm not going to give 100% anymore. Like, you're giving me 0 and I'm going to meet you at 0. And so not shit is going to get done. And that's just what it's going to be. And vice versa. Like, we would take our turns of, here's your 100%. I'm giving you 0, and let's see who checks out faster.
And you know why that ended up being that way?
Why?
Communication. It's so simple, because there's things you need and want. There's things I need and want, right. But I can't read your mind, right? But just coming up, I'm pretty sure a lot of generations, but I'm gonna say our generation, communication skills are horrible.
Horrible. We are not taught to communicate. I know in my house growing up, you listen, you don't speak, you do as I told, not as I do. Like, it was a very rigid way of navigating. So when you do get in a space where you're supposed to communicate, it's like, oh shit, well, I don't even know, I don't have the tools to talk to you
to do that.
Or, and let alone like just simple conversations, let alone those hard conversations where it's like, I don't have anything to give right now.
Especially your emotions all over the place. Like, you gotta think that's a battle.
Correct.
If you're not battle tested for that in those moments, then of course it's not going to be successful. It's going to look one way, like I'm being attacked,
right?
And then naturally you're going to overdo it. I'm going to shut down. I'm be like, fuck all this. I don't. What we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, communication plays
huge part.
The most important part, because a lot of things could be handled on the surface if people were willing to have those tough conversations of, hey, as a man, I like, let's just use this as an example. Hey, I like blowjobs. I need this. I need that. But this, I'm saying, because at the end of the day, this is going on in relationships where people aren't, these needs are not being met, and they're going outside of their home and going to find this, when you could get it right inside your home, but you're not willing to have that conversation and stuff and say, hey, but I know you're tired, I get it. Well, not even just that, because now I need to understand, hey, what are you going through? What can I help you with to make sure that I can get my needs that I need, right? Because a lot of times it's always me. I need this, I need that, I need that. And I'm not willing to take a break and be like, hey, where can I help you at to take some off your plate to make sure at the end of the night, when it's, you feel me, when it's convenient, I can get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my needs met.
Exactly.
Right. And we have been battle tested in that way as well. I remember, this was years and years ago. You probably don't even remember this, but it was almost that kind of situation, not with sucking the thing, but just our intimacy.
Yeah.
And you were like, we had gotten all the way in left field of like, okay, well, this ain't gonna work. We ain't seeing eye to eye. Like, should we be together? Should we not be together? And when it came down to it, it was the lack of intimacy. And it, you were like, well, you ain't busting that thing open for me. I have needs, and you ain't meeting them. And I realized that there was a shift, but there was a shift internally because I was going through my own traumas, through my own needed to do my own work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And because we didn't have that conversation, because that communication was not there, we had gotten all the way to left field of like, look, you ain't sucking this thing, you ain't busting it open, like. Yeah, obviously, there's other things going on, sure. And it wasn't anything else outside of us going on. It was simply I needed to do the work, and I wasn't feeling enough as a woman to be able to even come home and be like, "Hey, shit, I'm about to bust this thing open." And communication, simple communication,
yeah, for sure,
simple communication. But to circle back to your 50-50. I feel like the financial is so easy.
It's very simple.
I feel like the financial is very easy. And I mean, in our household, we got a whole lot of bills.
Well, no, I mean, we've got it under control.
We have definitely got it under control. But I mean, we are, for those of you who don't necessarily know our situation, just made a huge move to another city for 4 months, four or 5 months. Yeah. We've had 2 mortgages, had all of the amenities and stuff at our previous home still on. So we have literally been taking care of 2 households for some time. Thank God that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, that's behind us.
Yeah, that's definitely behind us. But
so now you flourish.
Correct.
Yeah.
But with our plenty of money, I was stating all of that to say we have been in a situation where we have had 2 households worth of bills on top of just day to day.
And they all got paid.
And they all got paid. So it never has been like a 50-50. We've never sat down and said, "No, mind y'all, this is budgeting king, like to the penny." I have to, when I get audited, I have to tell him to the penny where money is going. And sure. I respect that. And I have not been, in previous times and in previous years, I've not been the best with budgeting and,
I mean, I think we both, rode that wave, right? Yeah. So for the longest, we was my money, your money, and then we put it into the house pot, right?
Right.
And to me, it got to a point where it was just like
it didn't make sense.
It was back. We was hustling backwards. That's how I really look at it. Because at the end of the fucking day, we made so much money between the 2 of us. There's no way we ain't sitting on 100.
Correct.
At least correct. A honey bun right now.
Right.
Right. So when I go back and I look at it, it's like, and then the new house presented itself, right? So now a new situation presents itself, so I can't expect new results from the same. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. that was the shift where it was like, financially we got to get it together. Right. If this is what we want to do, this has to be done in a different type of light, right?
Yeah.
So it was a battle trying to get you on the same page, and it's like, hey, I'm not. What you told me the one day?
I used to tell my friend, listen, I go to work every day to be able to do what I want to do with my money. You can't tell me what to do with my money. You need to figure it out.
And at that point, like when you told, I was, but at the same, but you also have to understand that I wasn't mad at the fact of you saying what you said. I was mad because it was a disconnect.
Yeah.
Right? Because my whole thing was, I'm not trying to control you and your money, but you're coming to me saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? And I'm showing you a plan. Hey, we can have this and we can have that, but this has to be done.
You know what? And that goes to, that is a testament to, you cannot have your cake and eat it too in any situation. You might be able to scrape out the frosting and enjoy the frosting for a little bit, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. It takes sacrifice. It takes,
Yeah.
like, you can't. And I want to say, when I told you that, it was something as small as like, I want to get my hair done and my nails done, and
I don't
you're
even
like,
think it was that.
wait until.
I don't even think it was that. It was literally probably a drive-through. Like it was a
Okay.
drive-through, or you wanted to go to like Texas Roadhouse or something.
I wanted to go out to eat.
I'm like, look, bro,
Yeah.
you don't need to do it. Man. Or say, look, I go to work every day. I make my own money. You can't tell me how to. I'm like, all right, hey, you got it.
Do your thing.
Do
Go
your
off
thing.
when they say
Hey,
go off, queen.
Yeah, do your bit one. I ain't tripping on you. Go crazy. But again, even in that moment, especially knowing the situation, my the best thing for me at the time to do was, hey, I'm chalking it up to the game.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm gonna take that L just for the simple fact of I don't like the back and forth. I ain't finna fight with you. I ain't finna go back and forth with you. Hey, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you presented something to me that you wanted. I presented a way for us to get it. That's it. That's all.
So
It don't look the way you want it to look. It don't feel the way you want it to feel. But the reality of it is, if we want to get this done, these are the things that we have to do. These are the sacrifices that we have to make. I lay them out. Hey, this is what we doing.
And that's where it goes back to the communication, because I can say now I'm a decent communicator. I'm not gonna say good. I'm a decent communicator in the form of being an active listener and being able to come to the table with hard conversations and be like, babe, you might not like this, but
for sure.
Let's have this conversation. But that those butterflies and that, it's still, you still get that pit in your stomach, like, oh, dang, like, here we go. With that though, that was one of those times that communication was like, I'm gonna tell this nigga that I want to go through this drive-through.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not gonna sneak into it, because there has been plenty of times that my first mind, my actions would have been, I'm gonna transfer here, I'm gonna bop here on this date when I get paid, I'm gonna move it back here, and hopefully he just misses it. And so
it never worked.
It never worked.
It never worked.
It never worked. And I can agree to
that. And even that, right? Like doing that is nothing more than
cheating yourself,
robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
That's all you're doing.
And I agree with that, but I didn't see that as it being that. It was one of those, like, when they made that song "Spin a Check, Get It Right Back," like, I lived by that. And I think that we both live by that.
Yeah, for the long, that check to check. Yeah, we live check to check. Bro, we just in the past year.
The past 2 years. I know it's 2
years. Have been blessed enough to not have to live check to check.
And when we say check,
and the crazy thing is, we still live check to check from a budget standpoint.
Yeah, budgeting.
But as far as
I'm
waiting on something to do this, right, or I'm waiting on this to pay this bill. No.
But this is the sick part about it, though. We live check to check. Now, mind you, both of us are in our careers. Both of us make damn good money in the standpoint of we self-sabotage. Like, it wasn't we have to live check to check. Like, if we would have been doing this years ago,
we up. Yeah, we
baby,
up.
I'd be retired. Like, for real, I'd be retired.
I mean, that's a stretch, but we would definitely be up 100 grand.
A few.
I mean,
a few.
Because you also have to understand that it's still money going out, right? Like, you still have a overhead.
It's still money going out, but just think about all of the shopping trips, all of the impromptu vacations.
Yeah, I mean, if you talking about just cutting everything and sacrificing everything, yeah, for sure.
But not even sacrificing everything. I think it's more so now we plan. Like, I sent you yesterday plans for your birthday to go on a cruise. In the past, baby, it would have been booked, bought, and
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, but also
now
I think now
budget.
I think now because everything has to make sense.
Right.
Right. Like
if it's not in the budget, if we did not plan
but
for
it's not even just if it's in the budget, it just financially it has to make sense, right? Because the days of hey, we just gonna fucking YOLO, we just gonna do it just to do it, those are over. Because eventually we have to learn these hard lessons now to be able to teach our kids that are coming up under us to say, hey, that's gonna sound cool and those are the things you're gonna want to do, but the reality of it is, hey, just wait. And because you could do a lot more of doing that if you just wait a year or two, 3 years type situation.
Right. So I guess just this is gonna be a completely shift of gears. But we've been through the financial, we've been through the 50-50, we've been through the communication. With all of that building on top of itself and us learning the lesson the easy way or the hard way, how do you feel currently sitting in your new home? We are hours, I don't have my phone, but hours away from a new year.
For sure.
We have, personally, I feel like the growth, the development, this year has been very surreal, and I'll talk about my input on it after you go. But how do you feel sitting in your new home? It's about to be 2025.
For sure.
With your family, like not being over the road, like it's been a year.
Yeah, for sure. Like I always tell you every morning, blessed and highly favored. At the end of the day, nothing we were doing, we could do without the big man above. But at the end of the day,
say his name. Thank you, Jesus.
For sure, and he is very good to us, right? At the end of the day, I think this is the best that we've been, and our relationship, our marriage. I think this years. When I say peaceful, I've never felt peace like this from for a very long time, probably since I was a child. I ain't fighting no more. I'm chilling. I'm relaxed. I get to come home, nice crib, be with the kids, be with you, and enjoy each other, and still be able to maintain, the lifestyle. If that's because you gotta think now,
it don't matter.
You're older.
It don't matter.
It don't go out no more.
Cool if you don't cool.
Right? You get the new J's. They sit in the closet. Like, who am I trying to impress? At this point, like. Other than ourselves and work towards the goals and aspirations that we have for each other, and especially with popping the podcast off and those type of situations compared to material things and that type of nature. So man, when I say I'm very much at peace and comfortable, this is now I don't get comfortable where it's like, oh, I'm stagnant and I'm going to stay.
But you feel like comfort.
Exactly. Right. I'm always going, I'm hustling. I'm always going to go for more. I want to do more. Let's figure out we was talking the other day about building a house.
Another house.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, those are the things that, keep the drive and they keep you pushing. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Nice crib. What we working towards? 10 acres and then building something, that type of shit. So it's like that. To be able to actually get off the road, because shit, when we was where we was, I didn't feel like I was ever gonna be able to come off the road and make a decent living to be able to sustain a certain type of lifestyle. So I was like, hey, when we found this situation and God laid everything out and it actually worked for us and we made it happen, I promise. The first day I was out of that motherfucking truck was the best day of my life, and shit, every day from moving forward, it's just been, obviously it was a battle trying to adjust to the different type of lifestyle because shit, when I came off the road, I'm moving every day. So to be have to, slow down and get back acquainted and I got to deal with the kids, make sure I'm fathering them and doing what I need to do for them. I got to be here for you, be a husband, help with the house, clean here, do this, do whatever I need to do, however I can fit in without taking over. You know what I'm saying? That was the biggest thing. It's like I can't come in and just off the bat try to, it's like I'm trying to, fit myself in and find what's the most vital point where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest thing for me, was the adjusting side of it, right? It was like that was hard. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that was hard, because it was like when you so used to being on that road and on the go, slowing down is just like almost boring in a sense,
right?
Because like, what am I doing? I'm always moving. I'm always, because I'm gone. I'm gone. So it's like slowing down.
And your life depended on you being on the go.
Yeah, for sure. So it was like that shit was very hard, but what we wanted and what we needed played out exactly how it needed to play out. So it helped, right? And it was just through the process, just adjusting and regular. Because shit, it's been 4 years. I ain't had no regular life. Right. So it was like I got to figure out what's regular life now.
And I think that was my biggest. I think I was most nervous about that, because when you left, Lane was 4. Our oldest was 4. We didn't
turning 5. He turned 5.
Yeah, he was turning 5, but very much a baby still. You know, he was
my little dude.
Yeah, sure. He was a baby still. We didn't have we didn't have Poppy.
No.
And so life looked completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
When you came home. And by no means do I want to say this like you are an absent father, or that you weren't around, or none of the above, right? But it's different when you're here and you're present every day, and you know what happened at school, what he ate for lunch, what the little one did step by step during the day, and we're praying at night together. Like, it's different with you being away for those 4 years, especially with the little one, because you had never lived in the house with him.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
And so I'm raising this little boy, this baby boy, into whatever I can raise him into.
Yeah.
With no extra guidance aside from like weekend visits and stuff. And then it's like, okay, now daddy's coming home. Now we have to adjust. And I never want to be the man, because I'm not a man. And even though for the last 4 years I've had to play big dog, and I've had to lay down the law, and I've had to be stern, and, fill in that gap when you were over the road, now it was like, okay, now daddy's home.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be a smooth transition for all of us, welcoming you back, but also letting our kids know, like, mommy's been big dog, but now mommy's falling in line too. Like, this is very much a partnership. This is very much if daddy says this, then I don't care what I say. Like, we're always gonna be eye to eye, but when it comes to them, but daddy's home now.
Yeah, so it's definitely cool for sure, especially seeing a little nigga. The little one grow, bro. He wild for sure. Like, Sling, he pretty much, at the point where he doing his own thing.
Yeah, he come in and check on you, like, this what happened.
The little one just he wild. We gotta rope him in and get him situated. But for the most part, it's been dope. It's been dope, especially learning. And that's the other thing too, like, coming off the road, then learning a new area. You know what I'm saying?
And I think our story would be a little bit different and a little bit tainted if you were coming back to Tallahassee.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't doing that. Yeah, for sure. And I really meant that, and I stood on that because the simple fact it had been time to go, right? And I appreciate Tallahassee for what it did, and where it got us, and the people we met, and whatever.
The lessons we learned.
Yeah, for sure. Right. But at the end of the day, it had been past time to go and we was just so comfortable there. You know, we had bought the house, and it was like shit. We had got to a point we felt like we had made it. Like we did it. We did this.
We did this early.
We straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the reality of it, there's so much more out here. And I feel like that's our saving grace because, like, you know, we know what's out here. Right. Like, we not those ones that's stuck in our hometown or stuck like, oh, well, this all I can do because of, like, we seen it. We know what's out here. So it's like, it's up to us to go get it and put the work. It's New Year's Eve and we sitting here, you know, recording the podcast and trying to get this out and, you know, get this to the masses to see what we can build with it. It's like, we could easily be effing off, going, you know, drinking,
partying and bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Compared to actually putting work in and, you know, grinding and seeing what we can make out of the situation. So I feel like that's the biggest thing for me when I look at a partnership and a business. Like, we definitely run our marriage like a business. For sure, because at the end of the day, it should be that way. It needs to be that way for the simple fact of it is a business.
Yeah.
It's, you know, at the end of the day,
if business doesn't run, our lights don't get turned on, our food isn't filled, we don't have gas in our car, our mortgage don't get paid, like it shouldn't be a business. But I think that the beauty of it, though, is that we have mastered that part of it and we have not lost the intimacy. We get in the bed at night and we laugh and we giggle like we're 15 and 16 again. Like, we still have that foundation of you my dog no matter what.
But that's where it comes from, because that's what our relationship was built off of. Like, you know, we're the telltale high school sweetheart couple type situation. We literally grew up together. We had our ups, our downs. We had our, you know, times where we was apart. Came back, we figured it out. You know, we got married young, and then we flowed through it, and then now we're here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all is well when you start looking at the shit. We really been battle tested and we war ready. So whatever is going to be thrown or whatever situation we have to deal with, I think as long as we stick together and communicate with each other, we can get it figured out. Or I think at this point we'll be growing up to say, hey, you need to go your way. Right. I need to go my way, and then, you know, figure out what we're gonna do for the kids type situation. So,
I agree.
I think I absolutely love where we are, but I can't wait to see
where we're going,
where we'll be, especially within the next 365. Presenting, you know, the Love You More podcast and whatever other, you know,
ideas,
dreams
to reality.
For sure.
That's it.
For sure.
Dreams to reality. So last question for you, babe. It is T-minus a few hours till the new year, 2025. 365 days that we have not seen before, have not lived before. What are you most looking forward to in this new year?
I mean, I honestly, I think this podcast, to be honest, I think I'm very excited, you know, for this, because we've been talking about this for a very long time, and to be able to actually get it going and kicked off is a very big deal for me. And to be able to sit here and have these type of intimate conversations where we don't have to worry about, oh, he gonna feel this way, or she gonna feel this way. I think those are the biggest growth moments that I will have, to be able to say that, hey man, I ain't insecure no more. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in our relationship, and, you know, through it all, no matter what, I know we'll do what's best for each other. Yeah, that's the biggest thing for sure. So what about you? What you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to this year. I think we can both agree that it has been a year of work, a year of grind. 2024.
Oh, 24 was dope.
Yeah, it was definitely dope, but it was grind. Like,
what year wasn't though?
I don't know, emotional. I've had some years that it was just like, this was a fun year. 24 was like I feel like both of us, I put my big girl panties on, you put your big boy boxers on, and like we got it done. So 25, I am looking forward to standing on business.
Yeah,
Like
for sure, for sure.
very much, if it's a no, it's a no. I'm not explaining. There is no need to explain. Like it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
Holding myself first and foremost, and everybody else accountable to show up as the best self that they can. If you're not ready for that, that's fine. But I'm not going to allow that into my space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to traveling.
For
I'm
sure.
looking forward to making new memories with our babies and us. Um, and I'm looking forward to all of the good, all of the. I feel like this is one of those we worked so hard this past year, this past 365, that this is now like the continue to grow but enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
No, that's dope.
2025.
25. We on y'all. We gonna make a toast.
May
Love
your
you more.
25 be as good as our 24 and more. Love you more.
Love you more.